Hey, how's it going out there, everybody? Welcome to my Safe Gayven. So, this is a very special episode here on the Black Gay Comic Geek channel. I'm kind of geeking out right now. If you would have told 19-year-old me that this would be something that would happen, I wouldn't believe you that I would be here at this moment, but I am super, super happy. If you couldn't tell from the title of this episode, we are talking about Noah's Ark, the movie. Make sure you watch it. Hopefully you've seen it on Paramount Plus. If you haven't seen it, go watch it and then come back to this video because we are going to be talking spoilers for Noah's Ark in this video. But I am so happy to be able to say that I got a special guest here on the channel. You guys know I don't like to have conversations and do videos and things like that alone. I like to foster conversation, especially with queer people and Black queer people. I always say my motto is make it blacker, make it gayer, which is what Noah's Ark represents. And so with that said, you heard the title, you saw it in the video. Let's bring on Noah himself, Darryl Stephens.
Hello, hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, Michael. How are you?
I am well. Thanks for asking. So before we really jump into it, and I know this is not something that you're going to remember or would know of, and I wouldn't even expect you to, but we've actually met before many moons ago. So
do tell. I want to hear the story. Let's go.
Oh yeah. So way back when Noah's Ark was first thought of and was first a thing, before you even got picked up by Logo, when Patrick was still actively trying to sell it to networks. I think he was trying to sell it to more like HBO, Showtime, because the original clips that we saw were more rated R and the sex scenes were way more graphic than what ended up on Logo. So I remember, I don't remember what year it was. Maybe 2004.
Probably 2004.
Yeah, maybe 2004.
That's when we were touring most of it.
But yeah, you guys were touring the country, and you did an appearance in New York.
Did I sign DVDs?
No DVDs.
No DVDs.
No DVDs. Yeah. But I don't think DVDs were officially a thing yet. Were they?
Oh yeah, of course. No, not in 2004. They were not. They were not.
Yeah, no.
But no. In 2005. Right.
So me and a friend of mine went, and we saw the initial unaired pilot of Noah's Ark, and we sat in the audience, and I actually still have this poster where you and I spoke for a little bit, and
oh my God,
you signed it right here.
Oh my God,
from Darryl. You can't really see it because it was written. It was written in black ink, which wasn't a smart idea considering the color of the poster, but that's all you guys had. But I got the entire cast to sign it, but you can't really see it. But it says from Darryl, thanks Mike, thanks Michael. Yeah, it says Michael, thanks so much. XO Darryl. And so
sounds like me. That's crazy. So maybe that's why when I first saw you on TikTok, I was like, what do I feel like I know this person? Why do I know this energy?
Before I started making content, anything like that. And I don't remember exactly what we talked about, but back then I went because I have a degree in theater. So that's what I wanted to pursue. So I do remember that I did ask you about like being a Black man in this industry and what it takes to work and things like that. Like I don't remember the full conversation, but I do remember that you were super gracious and so nice and willing to talk. We talked for a little bit, and so I
can't imagine what my answers to those questions were because I still don't know. But I'm glad.
That's a whole other conversation. But yeah, it was good. And I got upset and nervous at first because I thought I lost this, and I was like, "Fuck!" And I found it like literally a half hour ago. I just happened to look down, and I was like, "It's right there." So all the places I was looking, I was like, "Okay." So it was meant.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that.
It was definitely meant to be. So. Yeah, that's our origin story. So I say all that to say, like, you've been in my orbit, and I've been a fan of yours for a while.
21 years now. We've been
21 years. Even after that, like, I went back and watched old clips of like Undressed and things like that.
You did not find Undressed.
I did, and I
watched
boy culture, all of like.
Yeah, wow, you found Undressed. That's impressive. I found some old VHS tapes of Undressed recently, and I converted them to video, but the quality is pretty crappy.
Yeah, they're not up now, so I can't. They're not on YouTube anymore. But yeah, I found the episode. But so it was cool. And
That's crazy.
I have Boy Culture on my shelf. I used to watch it every so often. So yeah, this is definitely a moment for me.
Well, I'm honored. Thank you.
So with that said, obviously I know you hear this all the time, and it's not just a moment for me, but like getting into Noah's Ark, the movie, coming back again and again, it's like the Phoenix. It's always resurrecting itself. Like, how does it feel for you knowing that this show has had such a lasting impact to the point that fans keep demanding more and more and more? No matter how much time has passed, we still keep talking about Noah's Ark.
You know, it really speaks to the void in programming aimed at us. You know what I mean? Like there was Pose. There hasn't been much beyond that where Black gay men get to talk about what Black gay men are going through on TV or film now. So I feel like it's obviously incredibly gratifying to have people still looking for us, still checking for us, and it's also feels very good to have this movie come out and get the reception that it did. You know, we shot this 3 years ago. I'm not supposed to talk about that, but again, I'll just be running my mouth. We shot this movie 3 years ago.
I didn't know it was that. I thought it was like more like a recent thing.
No, we shot it. That's what when I said earlier before we started rolling about 2022. That was the last thing I did.
Oh, okay.
And that was October. And then the strike happened here, and then there was some Paramount merger questions, and then I'm guessing by the time it was like 2024, they were like, well, why don't we just hold it for another year and call it 20 years? Which kind of makes sense because now we get to talk about it. It's been 20 years every time we talk about it instead of it's been 19 years.
19 or 18 or
which is not as interesting.
20 years sounds better.
It does sound better. So it's amazing. It feels amazing. And I have to say, going back to be with those men, with these guys and the new folks, but with the guys from the original series, getting on set with them, having these beautiful sound stages, like you see the movie, like they stepped their pussy up, right? Like
they definitely did. They definitely did. I want to know more about. I want to know more about the show that Noah, what Dead Like, what was it called? Dead
like us. What is it? Dead. We Are the Dead.
We Are the Dead. I'm like, I want to see. I want to know more about that.
Patrick has been talking about how Eva Marcille in that monologue at the beginning is talking about they've destroyed everything. It's the end, but we will overcome. You know, basically talking. It was prescient when we shot it because we didn't know we'd be living under this administration at that time. Oof. And it feeling like, you know, the end of the world. Half the time you're watching what's happening on the news. I feel like it's a very, it's oddly timely. Just that scene, that one scene with the zombies reaching for.
Yeah, even now, it hasn't even been 6 months.
It's not been 6 months. It's every time I think that I'm just like, how are we gonna do this for another year and a half, or 3.5 years?
Yeah.
Like, anyway, yeah, it feels amazing. It feels amazing, and the costume, I just felt like everything just got. Paramount really stepped it up and did us right this time, and I feel like it's finally. That's another thing I feel like you see in this movie. Like we are finally being celebrated by the people who are putting the show on, not just the people who are seeing the show, but I feel like when they put this movie together, they gave us the budget, they gave us the resources to make it look good and to make it very special. Like those drag numbers were obviously not easy. Christian Vincent, who plays Ricky, choreographed that.
Oh wow!
All those numbers, yeah. So it's been amazing. It's been amazing to be back on this little press tour with the guys. We're reconnecting again 3 years later, and it's great.
But no, you could definitely tell in terms of like the budget with the costume and the dance number, because I'm sure that wasn't cheap. Like that Paramount actually put their pussy, like you said, in the movie. Like even like Noah's opening outfit, almost that kind of looked like the pride flag. I was like, wait. Great.
It's actually supposed to be that like the when the TV is shut off and the broadcast, whatever that I forget what it's called now.
Oh, like the color,
the stripes, the stripes on the TV. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what that was supposed to be. I thought it was like the inclusive pride flag. That's what that
The
reminded me
idea
of.
was the TV. It's all about TV, right?
Yeah.
So
But that outfit was great. So let me actually ask you this, being that you've lived with this character for so long, like all of you guys.
yeah,
But there's been gaps
for
in
sure.
between. So
There've been long gaps,
there've been long
decade long
gaps.
gaps.
So
Yeah.
did you find any like struggle? Like what work did you have to do to like find Noah again?
You know, we did
And then also a caveat, and in addition to that, like, was there any type of like not struggle, but work that you guys had to do to bring back that chemistry of like the arc?
okay. So I would say the first part of the question, when we did the Rona Chronicles in 2020, there was a little bit of a struggle. Like Patrick was having to like stop and pull me aside. That was basically just me, Jensen, and Rodney shooting in a house, and everybody else was shot remotely from their respective places out of town, because this was actually during COVID and people were actually not seeing each other in real life. Like, it was real. And that was, I remember us having to start over and like, okay, you got to find him because this is not him. And I was like, what you mean? What you mean? I got it. It was not him. So this time, before we shot this, I actually watched a number of episodes. I think I watched most of season 1, some of season 2, and the first movie, Jump in the Broom, just to really kind of see what it felt like, where it felt like he started, and then ended up by the end of the first movie. So then, by the time we got to this movie, I felt like because he's now, he's like an executive producer of a TV show. Like, he's no longer the deer in the headlights, the baby deer asking his friends for advice every time he touches somebody's penis. It felt like he needed to really step into his maturity and his adulthood, and it felt like that was the challenge, to keep Noah's energy, but to also bring in the lived experience of having been married to Wade for 15 years, and also having a career take off and actually have a life beyond what we'd seen him doing. So yeah, and if I felt like we kind of pulled it off. The second part of your question was, what was it like seeing everybody? Is that what you said?
And I was asking, did this kind of the same thing? Did you also have to do any type of work of like bringing back the chemistry?
Oh, right. The chemistry of the arc. No. So I'll tell you what. When any of us get together in a room with Rodney Chester, Rodney plays Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Rodney's energy is such that we all kind of fall into our roles in the family. He's the mama bear, and we all have roles in the family, and everybody just automatically falls into their roles. It's kind of spectacular to watch, because the first thing we all shot together was that scene in the car where Ricky's driving and we're carrying the babies, and then he pulls over because some hot dude is running.
Yeah.
And Rodney's like, "Bitches, you crazy?" As soon as Rodney gets is there, we all, it's kind of fascinating to watch. We all fall right into place. So there was no work there. There wasn't even really any work with Jensen. I think Jensen and I, we don't, like a married couple, we are on each other's nerves half the time, but for the most part, we were very, it was very easy to fall back into that as well. So yeah, it's been great. It was very, I wouldn't say easy. It was work, but it was a welcome challenge to get back into it.
Which, speaking of, this actually made me think of something, because you mentioned like with Rodney Chester being the mother bear, and him kind of fostering that chemistry and everything like that. And I remember you guys mentioning a while, like a lot of Alex's lines came directly from Rodney Chester, like
Absolutely.
the Gaga, Buginas, things like that. So I kind of want to ask the same thing with the rest of you guys, and with this movie in particular. Was there a lot of like moments of improv that you guys?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Patrick is very serious about us sticking to the script. Even Rodney, I want to say, this time was pretty reined in with respect to his improvisation. This was, like I said, like this was a bigger budget situation, and it felt like oh, people are paying attention to what we're doing now. Like there's money on this, and people are not letting us, fuck around. So no, we stuck to it. We definitely stuck to his script, and we some stuff got cut. Obviously there's things that get cut, but like for the most part, it was a script that we started with.
Because I was wondering, because there's a scene in particular that I was like, this feels like it was improv during like the montage of the different babysitters.
Oh, that was improv.
Okay.
We weren't really improv. Oh, I guess we were, because we were just talking to them, right?
Because what I specifically was going to ask, there was a moment where one of the babysitters, she gave you her auntie's number, and you and Jensen both just busted out laughing. And I was like, I feel like that was improv, that he kept it in. Like y'all wasn't, I feel like y'all broke character, but he kept it in.
Constantly. During that, we were constantly laughing. The fact that there's only one moment that got into the movie where we're giggling is I guess it works, but the whole time we were laughing. She is hilarious. They were all hilarious. It was really, really fun. That was all improv. Not Jasmine's stuff. Jasmine got a script that she stuck to it. But the women, the potential nannies who came in were all improvised.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question, which I know you don't have any like pullover or anything like that, or probably don't know the behind the scenes to it. But I'm like, how'd y'all get Jasmine Guy, like the legend?
That's what it felt like. What are you doing here? Like, did somebody kidnap you? Like, why are you here?
When I saw her, I was like, oh, this show is legitimate. Like they got Jasmine Guy.
you see what I'm saying? Like they weren't playing this time. And it was such a gift to have her there, because she is also legendary Black television. She is Black TV royalty, and there was something about having her there that almost made us feel like, oh, we are almost somewhere in the proximity of Black TV royalty, which is wild to consider. Like we have a little bit of a legacy to uphold, and here you are helping us with ours, and we bow down. We are not worthy.
Speaking of legacy, there's another legacy character that you guys reference. She's not in the movie, but she is in the movie. She's a part of the storyline.
Oh, she's a huge part of the story.
She's a huge part of the
storyline. Movie.
And that is Miss Carter herself, Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter.
We're not gonna say all that. That's too much. Legal will not let us say all that.
Okay, so however, I can't. Okay.
You can say whatever you want. I can't say it. Okay. You can say whatever you want. But Miss Carter is holding. Please hold for Miss Carter. Yeah, that was obviously. Yeah, I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about this, but if you know what time of
this is a spoiler review though, so
right. We shot that during the Renaissance era. Obviously, there's a whole line dancing moment in this movie which predates Cowboy Carter even being on our radars. But Uncle, I shouldn't be saying names. The uncle character is based on the uncle in that story that she tells about her uncle. So I'm just trying to keep it clean.
It's fine. It's
fine. Not for spoilers, but for legal. Like, because it did not get. It was not technically cleared by her estate.
That's what that's the question I was gonna ask.
Yeah. Obviously, it's all love, and clearly, we are honoring her. There's nothing negative ever uttered about her ever, but it is her story, and we did sort of like.
So to me, that's just you guys are putting your wishing what am I trying to say? Like you're coining in the wishing well for her to show up in the official season 3 when this series gets greenlit for or the movie gets greenlit for a series. She's gonna show up as a cameo.
Would that be amazing?
I'm speaking into existence.
Yes.
Beyonce for season 3 of Noah's Ark. Which, really quick, did you go to Cowboy Carter?
I did not. I'm a dad. I do not spend $800 on concerts. I'm just like, my focus is very much at home. I can't be looking for parking. I'm not that guy. But I've only heard amazing things, and everybody I know who saw. I don't actually know as many people who've been to Cowboy Carter, but everybody I know saw Renaissance, and they just would not shut up about it. So,
You know, I went to Cowboy Carter and Renaissance, and I can't wait for Act 3. Like,
what do you think it's gonna be? What's your guess?
It's gonna be Rock. It's gonna be
That's
Rock.
what I thought too. It has to be, right?
It has to be.
It has to be.
But I think she's gonna release a secret 4.
Oh, and 4 would be what?
I don't know, but I'm thinking I would honestly like her. We're gonna get way off topic, but who cares? Honestly, I would love her to do a rap album.
Right. I feel like with Spaghetti, I feel like that was some of the hottest flow I heard in a while, right? That was,
or even like when she raps on Flawless or Savage.
Yeah.
I think she would kill a rap album. I would buy a Beyonce rap album.
I mean, I buy as soon as it drops. There's not even a question. It's here. There it goes.
Facts. Yeah, I'm definitely part of the Beehive. I'm not the crazy ones that'll like attack you and dox you and all that other stuff, but I'm definitely
right.
I'm definitely in the Beehive.
I'm a fan. I wouldn't call myself a stan, but I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, huge fan. But with that said, speaking of huge fan, and you mentioned being a father now, which, you know, congratulations. I know you did.
Thank you.
Became a father in like 2020. So you basically got more experience than Noah and Wade in this situation.
For sure.
So
yeah.
What advice would you give them, being that they were struggling a lot in the movie?
I think
the baby dolls.
The challenge that they were facing was in trying to Noah's challenge rather. Wade didn't really have a problem with it, but Noah was having a problem treating them as if they were real babies. The reality is, once you meet your child, you are like, your whole body shifts. Like a cavity in your heart gets filled up that you didn't even know was there, and then you're suddenly like, oh, I have this much deeper love than I knew was even possible. And your priorities shift, and everything just kind of changes. So Noah and Wade haven't experienced that quite yet. I'm excited for a reboot of the series, or even a sequel to this movie.
No, I'm hoping for a series, 10 episodes.
We are all hoping for a series, but
no, 13 episodes.
13 episodes is unheard of right now. I don't know if you know.
It is, but I'm sick of 8-episode television. Honestly, like, it's not enough.
That's all there is.
It's not enough for me.
Streaming, it's changed the whole landscape of what TV is supposed to look like. It's really a trip. You don't really get to get into. Well, it does force storytellers to get more concise and more precise.
It does, but also some of the great character moments live in the filler episodes, as opposed to just like rushing through. Even like Ironheart, like, I know you didn't see it and there's no spoilers, but I feel like it could have used, especially because it's all new characters outside of Riri Williams, it could have used more times to breathe.
Did you
like going on high octane?
Are there only 6 episodes total?
There's only 6 episodes total.
Oh,
exactly.
That feels like a jip a little bit, right?
I agree. So like, I'm just tired of 8 episodes. Even like interview. Do you have? So this is.
Are you joking? Don't even
this for later.
Say.
Yeah, because I'm like, this is the Black Gay Comic Geek channel. I was like, this is the Black Gay Comic Geek channel. I can't have you on and not ask you like your nerd, because I saw your Star Wars shelf, like ask you more about your nerd cred. But I'm like, since we're on it. But yeah, Interview with the Vampire, I'm like, I wish we had more than 8 episodes, especially considering like we're getting 8 episodes. Now we got to wait like 2.5 years for another season. Right. Back in my day.
Don't forget, season 1 was 7 episodes.
Yeah, season 1 was 7 episodes.
It was very like, wait, but we're just getting good. Like, what's going on? Yeah, I'm obsessed with both of them, Jacob and Sam, Lestat and Louis. I think that is kind of peak TV right now. That for me is like,
it's my favorite show.
Same.
That and Severance.
Everything right now. I've not gotten into Severance yet. I started a couple episodes, but for some reason I was like, "Ooh, I can't get into this right now. I'll go back to it." But like, Interview with the Vampire.
I definitely think you should check out Severance. It starts a little slow, but then like once it gets going, you're just like there's a brother on there now. Brilliant. Say that again.
There's a brother on there now. He wasn't there in the first 2 2 or
No,
3 of them.
Tremel Tillman, he was there from
Yeah.
season 1. He just his role got bigger in season 2.
I see. Okay. I don't remember him. I
Yeah,
gotta
shout out
go
to
back.
him, another openly gay black man, black actor working in the industry. So
beautiful.
Make it
well.
black and make it gayer. So also, going back to the episode, let me ask you, Darryl,
yes,
your opinion on Olivia. Which let me say this first. One thing I appreciate about Noah's Ark is even though it is about the lives of black gay men, I love the fact that the show had everybody in the LGBTQ. Like I love the fact that Olivia had a storyline and that was highlighted and focused. But the Olivia character in and of it, I'm like, she need her ass beat. I'm sorry. Like that moment when y'all were at the dinner table and she's like, I'm not eating this because it's not organic. I would have been like, then you ain't fucking eating. Like
you ain't gotta eat. You can go. The reality is, and I kind of love this. Teenage girls, that is what teenage girls are like. That is just who they are. Doesn't matter if they got gay dads, doesn't matter if they're trans. Teenage girls have this impossible energy. I've already been warned by everybody who's had kids before me. Get ready because around 11, 12, they're gonna change. She's gonna change on you. So what I love about this is that the dynamic with Olivia and Alex is that Alex is obviously a drag queen. She at some point calls them like, I'm not the old frumpy drag queen or something like that. She calls them something awful. But the idea that trans people and drag queens are on the same, the sort of give and take of those communities and that relationship, I think it's very interesting to sort of explore that trans people don't necessarily want to be around drag queens, and drag queens don't necessarily have any connection to trans folks necessarily, right? I felt like it was a very interesting conversation to sort of, he's a drag queen, she's a trans girl. They're not getting along just because those two things you think are have some sort of connection. They're not actually connected at all.
And that's a storyline that I did appreciate because it does show the dynamic and teaches people that aren't trans, because ultimately drag queen, like the whole art of drag is a performance.
That is all performance.
Yeah, it is a costume. Alex can take off LaChance whenever he wants and put it on whenever he wants. But for Olivia, it is not a costume. And a lot of people do see trans women as a costume, especially in today's society. They see it as a costume. So I did appreciate that storyline.
I feel like it's an important distinction to make. And, a conversation that could definitely use more fleshing out. It was obviously, I think the movie's 80 minutes long. But
yeah, which I was like, it's only an hour, 24 minutes. Like, I couldn't get 2 hours.
I'll tell you what, I saw the earlier cut. I love what they cut. I feel like it moves at a very light. Everything feels light, and even with the drama that pops up, it doesn't feel like anything gets weighed down too heavy. The sentiment that I walk away with is like, joy, celebration. It feels good. It feels like the breath of fresh air that we need right now under this administration and what's going on in the world. It just feels like, that was a nice little cool breeze respite from the hell, the dumpster fire that is happening from every other angle in the world.
Yeah, and it's going back to what you were saying, like especially considering all the stuff that's happening with the like banning of queer books and trying to dismantle critical race theory, and everything that's black is DEI and woke, and you got a black woman showing up in Jurassic Park just in a picture with next to Chris Pratt, and somebody says complaining that Jurassic World is going woke. It's just a fucking photo. So you mean tell me you just don't like black people? Or going back to Ironheart, it's currently being review bombed, and it was being review bombed before the show even came out. So like people are complaining just because like you haven't even seen 2 seconds of the show and you already saying it's terrible. So like
it's a very sad place that we're in, I feel like right now. But it also, to me, in a sick way, is encouraging because it makes me feel like they realize their time is up. This is their dying breath, their last breath, and they're not. Oh, my husband's calling. Hold on. How do I stop that from happening? Stop. You'll figure it out. Yeah, it feels like they're pulling out all the stop. They're firing overly qualified black people just because they're black, and replacing them with the most mediocre white man you've ever found. You could find anywhere in the world, right?
Yeah,
Some
like that moment they fired the
22-year-old
librarian of the Congress.
Library of Congress. It was like, are you joking? Are you for real right now?
So they say
yeah,
a candle is most violent right before it goes out. But
that's what we're looking at right now.
Yeah, that is what we're looking at right now. Because ultimately, like the 2020 census was the first time in American history that the white population declined instead of going up, and so they're upset about that. They don't like that. But and that's why I say all that to say, like having this show up is refreshing, because a lot of times you don't see, especially because there was not really any trauma or struggle or anything like that. You got black gay men who are super successful, living their goddamn black gay ass lives.
Yeah, and even
and dating other black gay men.
Yeah, that's a very key point for Patrick. He's very, very, very. Every time we talk about it, he's like, you may see a black gay character on TV, but he is not dating a black gay man.
Yeah, even I love Interview with the Vampire, but even he's with Sam Reed. He's with Lestat. I love Sam Reed as Lestat, but
Sam Reed as Lestat is,
but
impeccable.
He's still dating a white man, or like Sex Education when Kuti Gatwa, he left that black man to end up going with this white man, and I'm like, come on now, like it happens more. And granted, not to say that there aren't people in interracial relationships and that you shouldn't see that on television. Yeah, it's no problem with that, but it seems like that seems to only be the case, and not even just interracial relationships. It's always white and somebody else. You never see two people of color loving each other, black and Native American Indian, or whatever. Yeah. It's just always white and other.
Well, so not on this show, and that's I think one of the it's saving graces. I think that is what people have responded to all these years. I think they love seeing us thriving together, and the friendships, the relationships between the four guys. I think the ways that those relationships have evolved, it's all very well done.
And so yes, I thank you for being a part of that. Well, let me ask you this really quick, because I know they told me I can only keep you for a half hour. When you read the script, because that Chance storyline threw me off guard. I was like, wait, what? What is happening? What? Why?
I was just going to mention that. I am so glad that situation happened a year prior, and we didn't have to watch that happen during this movie, right? So like the flashback situation, I felt like it was handled very. I've seen a review or somebody's comment saying that was, maybe it was you. It might have been you. That if you had one complaint, it was you. If you had one complaint, one critique, it was that that was not handled well. And I disagree. I felt like it was the way it played when he called him a slut. I was like, ah! And then you everyone who was watching it with me the night it came out, when Chance was in his black turtleneck and Eddie is sitting on the bed and he's putting his suit on and blah, blah, blah. I do feel like they were like, oh, they figured it out at that right before we ended up in the cemetery, in the graveyard. But I love that story. I thought it was really well done.
No, I don't dislike the story. I just thought, I don't know, it was just a jarring transition, which is like, you're a slut. The next moment he's at the grave, I'm like, wait. So did he die after that scene? Like, did he leave the house and then go
back and watch it again?
Yeah.
And you'll see the way he's interacting with him is very specific. And nobody else is ever in the room except for the time that he's.
Yeah, so maybe I need to do that, because then I was like, wait, did we do a time skip? Like, what's happening? I'm confused.
You'll see.
So maybe I'm just dumb. That's really
no. It's not that. I think I do think it's worth going back and watching it, because Patrick put all kinds of like Easter eggs in this movie. There's lots of stuff you to find and notice on second and third viewings. So I do think that the Chance Eddie storyline is worth checking out a second time for sure.
But yeah, but I would love to see, as all of us would love to see, these storylines expand, and even the way it ended, like the end. Obviously,
Patrick knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he knows what he's
Patrick
doing.
knows what he's doing. There was no way you were gonna watch that and not be like, oh, we need a series. Where's the rest? Like,
yeah, especially Ricky's storyline with the can't, like, come on, like, and y'all got a baby on the way. Like, I
3 babies. We got 3.
My 3 babies. 3 babies injected into my veins. Like, I need more. And I need to see this movie. So let me ask you this. What is your greatest hope? Or actually, no, what is something that maybe you haven't done with Noah's character that you would like to see happen, or a storyline that you would like to do, or maybe for the other characters, something that you would like to see for
That's an interesting question. I have never had, quite honestly, Noah has always felt a little distant to me from me. So I never put myself really in Noah's shoes in terms of, like, obviously when I'm playing him, but like I don't see his story necessarily being parallel to mine. In any way. What's happening now with the babies, I think, is a beautiful opportunity for me to tap into what I know as a dad. But what I really liked about this movie is that, like I think I mentioned earlier, just the idea that he started off this kid, this young man who did not know what he was doing, always looking at his friends for help. He has grown up and is now running things and taking care of his friends. He's the one making sure that everybody's looked after, and and I just feel like that's a beautiful evolution to sort of explore. And the thing about Noah is that he's always been flawed. I don't know if you were privy to the little online moment, I guess it was last year, maybe 2 years ago, about was Noah really the villain? Do you remember that conversation that was happening online?
Yeah, I do.
I appreciated that people were sort of just re-examining what he was doing. Now, obviously, he wasn't a villain. Nobody was a villain. He was a young man making mistakes, as we all do. But I think that it's an interesting point that Patrick never let Noah be the saint. Like, Noah was never saintly. He was always flawed. He was always making mistakes. He was always stumbling in the sex clubs and doing things that I was always like, what the fuck did you play? Why would he do that?
That's one thing I appreciate. Like, none of us are perfect. None of us are.
It was messy. The transition from season 1 to season 2, when he ends up with Malik, after that situation happened at the wedding, like, what? That's what?
Yeah.
So these are they were young men making young man mistakes, and I think that what's happening now is we get to see them as middle-aged men, and they are navigating life with all of the wisdom that hopefully imbues them with, but also the same sort of blind spots that we all have as we get older and carry into our older age. We gonna make mistakes. We're still making mistakes. So I appreciate that about that character. There's nothing I would say there's specific that I want to see him go through. I would love to see him have a long story arc, a long career. I'd like to see lots of work for that actor. But nothing beyond that specifically that I can think of.
Let's go 5. Let's get 5 seasons out of this.
Or at least 3, right? I feel like we did 2. Can we at least do 3 this time? Like, let's just call it even 5 total. At least 3, right?
At least, but I'm gonna say 5.
At least.
I'm gonna say 5. Consecutive.
Yeah.
5 consecutive seasons out of Noah's Ark. So
I think we could. I mean, we're already on season 4 of all of that. What's that song? That show, the Sex and the City reboot. Oh my God, I watch it every week. And just like that. Like that, we're on season 4 of that, right? Come on, we can do 5 seasons of Noah. Come on.
Yeah, so guys, I need you to tell your friends, families, and neighbors to watch Noah's Ark and run
Noah's
them
Ark the
numbers.
movie.
Run them numbers up. Yeah,
Paramount Plus, Showtime.
Paramount. You can watch. Go back and watch all because all of Noah's Ark is on Paramount. So go watch season 1, 2.
Do you know all of them are trending? Jumping the Broom is trending. The series is trending, and the new movie is trending.
Okay,
all of them on Paramount Plus.
I didn't know that. So that's good. So Paramount. I hope y'all are taking notice.
Ring the alarm.
Go watch it. So before I let you go, so like I mentioned earlier, we kind of talked about it before, but we got to talk about it more because I can't have you on the Black Gay Comic Geek channel. You not talk about, your nerddom and things like that. So like, what are some of the things that you're into? Or like, do you read comics? Are you a comic book, or do you like the movies? Or like, what are some things that you're watching now?
Funny story. The guy who sent me, my friend from college, his name is Andy, who sent me the audition, the open call for the show called Hot Chocolate. That guy who did Punks is doing a series called Hot Chocolate. You should probably send your stuff in. That guy was my comic book dealer, pusher. Where are they? There's a shelf somewhere in this house with.
I was like, I thought he walked in. I was like, well,
no.
No.
Sandman. He hit me to Sandman. So I'm looking forward to that. The second season of that on Netflix.
Yes.
The Sandman.
I'm not gonna go into it. Never mind.
Let's hear it. Come on. Come with it. What?
I was gonna say, because of everything that's going on with Neil Gaiman, I'm disappointed that the show ended up getting canceled because of that. So season 2 is it.
Oh, it got canceled? Like this? It's like it?
No. Season 2 is still coming, but it's not.
Yeah.
There's nothing else.
There's nothing after season 2. Oh,
because of what's happening with Neil Gaiman.
Yeah.
Multiple people came out and accused him of allegedly sexual assault and things like that.
Oh God.
So it's like we can't have nothing nice.
You can't have nothing nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of a big fan of the Marvel stuff that was happening for a while, and then I guess it was the fourth wave or whatever it's called. I kind of lost interest. The most recent. I didn't see the Anthony Mackie. I just kind of lost it. I don't know what it was. I just kind of fell out of.
Yeah, you're not alone. A lot of people feel that way.
I don't know if it was necessarily the movies themselves. I do think that there was a point where I was like, oh, I didn't really enjoy that one. I didn't really like that one either. And I was like, I can't invest. Because, when you have a kid, your time is precious. Yeah. I will find time to watch Ironheart because it's on TV. It's I could watch that in, I guess, 30-minute chunks, or 40-minute chunks, whatever it is. But I was watching, I watched Agatha. I watched the Wanda show. I watched Loki. Yes, I keep up. Andor. I have not started the second season of Andor, and I was obsessed with the first season of that. So I don't know what my problem is, but there's just sort of that there's not enough hours in the day to get.
It's funny. A lot of people are shocked when I tell them this. I haven't watched Andor.
Oh, the first season. My God.
I watched the first 4 episodes, and every time I watch them, I just keep falling asleep. Because it's just so slow.
It is the headiest of the shows. I remember The Mandalorian, that felt very fun and cute,
Yeah.
and then Andor happened. This was oh, this is just serious. We dealing with some serious, basically what we're dealing with in our government right now, right? It's just things are going down. The rebellion has to happen.
So everybody I say keeps saying go back and watch it. So I need to give it another chance.
It's worth it. The first season is absolutely worth it. I have not started the second season, which is crazy to me because I was so obsessed with the first season. We already talked about Interview with the Vampire.
What about DC Superman? Are you interested? You're a Superman fan, DC fan?
That man is hot, so I will.
Oh, he is.
Do it.
He is hot.
I keep seeing pictures of him on the press tour, and I'm just like, okay. I might have 2 hours.
I'll suck it if he put it in front of me.
I'll sit through that.
I'm release the sex tape between him and Lex Luthor.
Right, and there's a little sexual tension between those two too.
Yeah,
which I think is cute.
I'd watch it. Even in the marketing, the way they got the two of them together, I'm like,
Oh, for sure, they're doing that on purpose.
Y'all doing it on purpose.
They know who the comic book fans are. They
But
know
it
who
also
we are.
annoys me though when you do the queer baiting and then there's no follow
No
through.
payoff.
Yeah, there's no payoff. They did that a lot in Teen Wolf. I don't know if you ever watched Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf didn't pay off. I feel like they did pay off, didn't it?
They didn't pay it. They didn't pay it off.
Really? That was very gay. I felt like that show was like gay. Like
there were
gay.
other characters that they had, but the two that they were teasing.
Oh, but Scott and whatever and
it was
Dylan's character.
Styles and Derek.
Yeah.
They never.
Derek. Oh, and Derek. I see, and Derek. Okay, I got it.
Yeah,
that was very. Yeah.
They never paid it off.
We still kind of. I don't know. It happened as far as I'm concerned.
For me, it's my always thing is I was like, it's not gay enough for me. That's always my thing. Unless I see you scissoring or 69 and like,
or at least a kid. Give me a kid.
Yeah, at least a kid, or more than what we got in Eternals. That little peck on the lips. I'm like, y'all been married for like 11 years, and he's about to go save the world. And if he doesn't come back, you're never gonna see your husband again. And the world is basically gone. So like your family, your kids are all like, you're gonna kiss your husband more than just a peck on the. I'm like, you would at least give him a blowjob or something. Like, come on now.
I will say when you're married after a while, you're like, it is just about, I'm looking at you, I'm seeing you, I love you. You know what I mean? It doesn't. All that other shit does kind of become like, I've seen your dick.
Yeah, in the real world, we talking about TV.
Right, but you want to see it in the terms. Okay, I hear you.
We talking about TV, but yeah, but so it sounds like we got a lot of the same tastes and opinions on a lot of the same topics.
Yeah, that's why I follow you on the TikTok, because I'm like, oh yeah, he's getting into this. I appreciate that he's voicing these thoughts, because I wish I had more time to enjoy the comic book stuff that's happening in the world right now. I'm just a little busy.
So yeah, I mean, I'm busy because some people are like, Michael, I want you to talk about this. It's too much. It's too many shows. So many shows, too many movies. Have you seen this? Have you seen this? You need to watch this. Check this out. I'm like, I'm only one person. I don't have a team. I don't have editors. It's just me. And I work a full-time job. And I work a full-time job. So like. You want me to start doing stuff? Sign up to my Patreon, which I do have. So, or somebody hire. Or speaking of, hopefully we get to, and I'm gonna end with this. Hopefully we get to meet again in person. So, hit up Patrick if you guys go to series. Let me get a cameo. I could be like I could be in like a YouTube thing on the background. Like,
I would not be surprised if he would absolutely do that, because he is very much. He featured. You were talking about banned books earlier. George M. Johnson's book, Boys, Not All Boys Are Blue.
Yeah, like
it's in the movie.
Yeah,
it's in the movie. Like it's on their bookshelf. So.
I mentioned this in my non-spoiler review, and I was like, I don't know who T.S. Madison's agent is, but she stay booked. So I'm like, I need to get T.S. Madison's agent.
I will tell you what, it's not about her agent. It's about her. She is infectious. If you are around her, you're like, how can I get you in anything that I'm doing? Because you are amazing to have I'm obsessed with her. I am 100% obsessed with T.S. Madison.
Yeah, I was on a podcast as a guest with her. We were talking about X-Men 97. And I was just like, oh yeah, I love her.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's everything. Everything.
Which last question. Have you watched X-Men 97?
I have. I didn't watch the original X-Men series that ended in 1996.
Okay.
Which I then went back and watched some of, and I was like, "Oh, I get it. This is 97 because it's like picking up."
Because
the reason it feels so 90s is because like none of that made sense to me when I first watched it, and then I was like, and my kid was trying to watch it with me.
I was gonna say, if you haven't, you need to watch. X-Men.
No, I watched it, and I'm also like hip to the Bo. I forget his last name. Bo DeMaio. That situation that he went through, which was ridiculous and shameful, that they fired him for some silliness. I'm so tired of people. Everybody needs to reprioritize and figure out what the hell they're doing. Because the show was obviously brilliant. I don't know what else you need.
I'm nervous about the other seasons, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Are they doing this? The show's still going.
The show's still going without him.
Oh, that's all right.
So for what I know of, I think they're still going to use some of his script for season 2. But they're obviously changing and working some stuff around. But like, it's not all going to be his stuff, which is also why it's taking so long to come out. But then season 3 on is just
all new.
So I'm a little nervous, especially because I'm like something like an X-Men. Considering the topic, it should be written by somebody that's marginalized, not straight white men. But
here we go.
It is what it is. But yeah, hopefully we get to meet again in person.
Yes, for sure.
Like I said, season 3 on the set. Patrick, Paramount.
Well, yeah, they call it Black Gay Comic Geek.
But I appreciate you. And before you go, anything you want to plug, like that you got coming up, or anything like that you want to let people know about?
I have written and produced co-written and produced a pilot, but that's not out yet. So we just had our world premiere at a film festival last weekend, and we're about to start pitching. So stuff is happening, but nothing that you can watch right now. So when it's ready, I'll come back.
Okay. Well, with that, also real quick, are you a reader? I'm
a listening to audiobook person. Because the only time I have is in the car now. Like if I'm driving somewhere in the car, yeah.
Okay, because I just looked over I'm like, wait, because we have a lot of the same taste. I would definitely recommend a book called Blood Debts by Terry J.
Yeah. I know this book. Yes.
It's Black, it's queer, it's witchy, it's magic, it's a lot of family. Definitely recommend it. So.
It's on my list. It's on my list for sure.
All right. So with that, thanks again for doing this with me. Guys, make sure you watch, like, share, comment, interact for the All Gay Rhythm. Make sure you watch Noah's Ark. I don't care if you saw it already. Go watch it again to run the numbers up and tell your friends, families, and neighbors so we can get a season 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let it run. Let's do Grey's Anatomy. Let's go on 20 seasons of Noah's Ark.
So we'll bring new people in every season. We'll do it. Come on.
Yes. So thanks again, and we are out.
My pleasure.